A boy receives a locked wooden box at his doorstep. No sender. No note, just his name carved on it. He discovers a strange, old key hidden under his bed that perfectly fits the box. Inside, a single photograph of an abandoned house. The boy visits the abandoned house. Inside, he finds symbols scratched on the walls, same as on the box. A hooded stranger confronts him. You shouldn't have opened it. Before the boy can ask questions, the stranger disappears into the dark. The new key unlocks a hidden door inside the abandoned house. Behind it, a dusty room filled with journals and maps. The journals reveal his family once protected a dangerous secret. The box wasn't random, it was meant for him. The final journal explains, the secret is not treasure, but forbidden knowledge on invention powerful enough to change the world. Part 1. The unmarked arrival. What if you woke up one morning, went to your front door, and found a package that could change everything you thought you knew? That's what happened to me. It was a Tuesday, nothing special about it, until I saw it, sitting right on my doorstep, a small, dark wooden box. It wasn't from a delivery company. There was no postage, no return address, nothing. Just the box. It felt old, ancient even, the wood worn smooth by time and touch. And then I saw it, carved into the lid with an unsteady hand. My name. Just my name. Leo. No last name. No other markings. Who sent this? How did they know where I lived? A million questions flooded my mind, but the most important one was pulsing like a heartbeat. What's inside? I picked it up. It was heavy, heavier than it looked. I shook it gently. Something shifted inside, a soft, muffled thump. My heart was racing. This wasn't a prank. This felt ... important. I brought it inside. The cold wood a stark contrast to my warm hands. The lock was old, made of tarnished brass, with a keyhole that seemed to mock me. There was no key. Of course, there was no key. Where would the adventure be in that? I spent the next hour examining every inch, looking for a seam, a trick latch, anything. Nothing. It was sealed tight. It was a secret, and it was addressed to me. The question wasn't just what was inside, but why was it sent to me? What secret was I meant to uncover? Part 2. The first attempt. Maybe there was something there. A set of lockpicks, or a small file. The shed was dusty and filled with the smell of sawdust and oil. I rummaged through drawers of rusty nails and forgotten gadgets. After about 20 minutes, I found it. A small, delicate set of picks my grandpa used for his antique furniture restoration hobby. They were perfect. I raced back inside, the picks clutched in my hand like treasure. I took a deep breath, inserted the first pig into the keyhole, and began to work. It was harder than it looks in the movies. I could feel the pins inside, but they wouldn't give. Click, nothing. Click, click, nothing. Just when I was about to give up, I felt a tiny shift. One of the pins had set. My breath caught in my throat. I was getting closer. Maybe there was something there. A set of lockpicks, or a small file. The shed was dusty and filled with the smell of sawdust and oil. I rummaged through drawers of rusty nails and forgotten gadgets. After about 20 minutes, I found it. A small, delicate set of picks my grandpa used for his antique furniture restoration hobby. They were perfect. I raced back inside, the picks clutched in my hand like treasure. I took a deep breath, inserted the first pick into the keyhole, and began to work. It was harder than it looks in the movies. I could feel the pins inside, but they wouldn't give. Click. Nothing. Click. Click. Nothing. Just when I was about to give up, I felt a tiny shift. One of the pins had set. My breath caught in my throat. I was getting closer. Part 3. A whisper from the past. My hands were shaking, but my focus was absolute. One pin was set. I gently moved to the next, applying the slightest pressure with the tension wrench. Another click. Yes, 2 down, maybe 3 to go. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by my own heartbeat and the faint scratching of metal on metal. I was so close. I could almost taste it. Then, just as I was working on the third pin, I heard a sound. It wasn't from the lock. It was from asterisk inside asterisk the box. A faint, almost imperceptible whisper. I froze, pulling the picks out. Had I imagined it? I put my ear to the wood, holding my breath. Silence. I must be going crazy. The suspense was getting to me. I shook my head and went back to the lock, but I couldn't shake the feeling. I inserted the picks again, my movements now more hesitant. Click. The third pin set. My heart hammered against my ribs. And then it happened again. Clearer, this time. A voice. A soft, melodic hum, like a half-forgotten lullaby. It was coming from the box. This is impossible. There are no electronics, no speakers. How could there be a sound? It wasn't scary though. It was ... comforting. Familiar. Like a memory I couldn't quite grasp. The tune was weaving its way into my mind, and I realized with a jolt ... I knew this song. It was a lullaby my mother used to sing to me when I was very, very young. A song I hadn't heard in over 15 years, not since she passed away. How could this box know that song? Part 4. The final tumbler falls. Tears pricked my eyes. That melody. ... My mom's lullaby. It was impossible. Yet here it was, humming softly from a locked wooden box. The need to open it was no longer just curiosity. It was a desperate, aching need to understand. How was this connected to her? Who would know this secret melody and send it to me? My hands steadied. My resolve hardened. I went back to the lock. The lullaby, a gentle guide in the quiet room. I could feel the last few pins, stubborn and resistant. I worked the pick, maneuvering it past the false sets, feeling for that final, subtle click. The melody grew a little stronger, as if encouraging me. Come on, ... come on. And then ... asterisk, click, asterisk. It was loud, decisive, and final. The sound echoed in the silence as the tune from within the box abruptly stopped. I held my breath. The tension wrench turned freely. It was unlocked. For a moment, I just stared at it, my hand hovering over the lid. Everything had led to this. The mystery arrival, the failed attempts, the impossible melody. Now, the answers were just inches away. I was terrified. What if it was empty? What if what's inside is something I'm not ready for? But there was no turning back. Slowly, deliberately, I placed my fingers on the edge of the lid. I took one last, deep breath, and I lifted it open. The inside was lined with faded red velvet, and nestled in the center wasn't a treasure or an old relic. It was a single, folded piece of yellowed paper, and a small, silver key. Part 5. A key to another door. My eyes were glued to the contents. A key and a note. That's it. After all that, I carefully lifted the small, silver key. It was ornate with a delicate, almost floral design at the top. It didn't look like it belonged to any door I knew. It was too small, too ... whimsical. I set it aside and reached for the folded paper. The parchment was brittle with age. My hands trembled as I unfolded it. The handwriting was elegant, a looping cursive I didn't recognize. It wasn't a long letter, just a few lines. It read, "My dearest Leo, if you are reading this, then you are ready. Some doors are not meant to be opened with ordinary keys. This one will lead you to the beginning, your beginning." And below that, a single address. Part 6. The Clock Tower's Secret. The clock tower loomed over me, silent and imposing. It had been a part of my town's skyline my entire life, but I'd never been this close. The main doors were chained and padlocked, just as I remembered. There was no way in. I walked around the entire base of the tower, running my hands along the cold, rough stone. Some doors are not meant to be opened with ordinary keys, the note said. I scanned the walls, the boarded-up windows, the base of the structure. I was looking for a lock, a small one, a lock that would fit this strange, silver key. After circling it twice, I almost gave up. Then I saw it. Tucked away, almost completely hidden by overgrown ivy, was a small, metal plaque. It looked like a dedication plate, but it was tarnished and blackened with age. In the center of the plaque was a tiny, almost invisible keyhole, the exact size and shape of my key. My heart leaped. This was it. I cleared away the ivy, my fingers fumbling with excitement. I slid the silver key into the lock. It was a perfect fit. I turned it. I didn't hear a loud click or the grinding of gears. Instead, I heard a low, soft worry sound from above. I looked up. High above, one of the massive stone blocks on the face of the tower began to move. It wasn't a door. It was a compartment, a hidden alcove, sliding open to reveal a dark space within. What did my mother hide inside the town clock tower all those years ago? And why is it finally being revealed to me now? Join me in the next part to find out. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.